99% of players are making it much harder for themselves to win games inside of Counter-Strike because they're not understanding one key concept that we are going to cover today and make sure you are playing to your fullest ability. Before I get into that, I have to give you a message about how to sell Counter-Strike 2 skins for the most profit. The sponsor of today's video is SkinPlace, a site where you can instantly and safely sell skins for real money. It really only takes seconds. To get started, you need to log in via Steam. Choose the skins that you want to sell. Next, choose a withdrawal method. Currently available are Visa and MasterCards, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and balance on site if you plan to withdraw money later. Enter your wallet number and do not forget to use my promo code CoJoMoCS for a 3% bonus on your first sale. When you have filled in the gaps, click Receive Money Viola. The funds will arrive in your account soon. I left the link to SkinPlace in the first comment. Have some good sales. Alright guys, so one thing that you have to understand inside of this game is that what are you dying for? What is the purpose of the fight and the risk that you are taking, right? It is not necessarily a bad thing to die inside of a Counter-Strike 2 round, right? There is a lot of different ways that we can die and still provide so much value for our team. But the problem is that many players never think about this and they just go into the round and they go into their decision makings without actually properly thinking through what they should be doing, right? So I'm going to give you a few examples today so that you can understand this concept fully and not improve your aim, not improve your, actual mechanics, but improve literally the most important part of the game, which is positioning. And, honestly, it ties into game sense a lot too. So for example here, guys, when we are a CT and we are trying to take long control, why are we risking our life to take long control, right? Why are we throwing these mollies, blue door, and doing these things? Because we want this control. Why? Because if we can get into pit, it makes our life a lot easier. If we can boost somebody up here and, play this position, us having this control of the map is a lot nicer than us not having that control of the map, right? Same thing, will make it really obvious is when we're playing B. Why do players sometimes dump utility early to block this doorway off? Because if the T's are behind this doorway, they're in here. That is great for us. That's great. We have control of this entire site. We can play here, 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 anywhere, guys. We can play anywhere on site. If the T's are able to get out, maybe they throw their own lurk smoke, they can now gain control of some of these positions. And obviously, guys, once the T's smoke door and, get out site, now they have control of all of this, right? Why do I bring this up? Because giving your life away for control can be a very good thing to do, right? If you're this guy, on CT side, that's the first guy mollying doors, you might be in charge of mollying and trying to get out here. They might flash out and kill you, but in order to kill you, they have to run through the molly, and your two teammates are swinging behind you to trade, right? So now that 1-for-1 trade was pretty decent because we got what we wanted and we shut down the T's control, right? It can be very good. Same thing on the T side, guys. Maybe you have a long spawn, you tell your teammates to flash for you. You're coming out here and you're trying to die for this control. We want this. This is the purpose in the round, right? It doesn't matter what map you're playing, what position. Having this idea of we want this control and we will give our life away for this is very important. Now, one thing you need to understand that this is very dynamic and this changes throughout the round, right? We need certain parts of the map and we don't need certain parts of the map depending on what situation we're facing, right? Say we, are playing a standard round, right? And the T side is like working us mid pretty hard. They have control all the way up to this line. They have this control. They have lower, mid, everything here because they work their map control and they throw a mid to be smoked, right? Now you might be like, okay, we need this control here, right? And we do. Like, we need to make some sort of plan, right? You can either give your life trying to deny this side of the map, which is a strategy. You could try to do that. Or what you could do is give the control completely in return for keeping your life, right? So then we are like, okay, we're gonna play from sight. We're gonna sit here. One of us hold like tons. We can have a guy holding tons from here maybe, and maybe a guy sitting close door or car or something delaying. And that is perfectly good, right? We're saying our life is not worth it. We are going to get into a setup and play for them to come into us, right? Versus, maybe we don't want that. We want to fight mid. They throw this mid to B smoke. And what do? Us as A players coordinate a way to flash through CT and, fight with this guy that wants to swing as well. We flash through CT. We nade this smoke. We do these things with the purpose of we are making these aggressive plays to deny that map control, right? And it's gonna change, like I said, every round depending on what the other team's doing, what you need. Some rounds, guys, you don't need long control. You might be like, they can have it because we're gonna do a mid crunch and get through here, right? So we're gonna take this control and do this. At the end of the day, understand what are you doing and why are you dying. Too many players, you know, we'll have cat control, right, as CTs, and too many players aren't thinking about that properly. And what are they doing? They're coming around here to long to try to fight long, and there's already a guy in pit, and then they die. So in your brain, what was the point of doing that, right? And you might be like, well, Coach, that was for info. But why did we need the info? We still have sight, and we have control of one part of the map. Why did you feel the need to peek by yourself and push into that? Well, I wanted to see if there was one long to kill him. That's not the proper answer. Play with your teammates and, you know, make sure that when they're crossing, you can nade open the smokes, you can flash over, you can throw these lurk smokes on sight. Anytime inside this game you can do something with a team, it's always going to be better, right? But that does lead me into my next point, which there is times that you dying for info is actually good, right? There is times that that is a proper play to make. I'll give the example, right? Say we are on T side, we just won pistol, the score is 1-0, it's the second round, and imagine this is a Mac 10, right? Or we can just say we have an SMG, MP7. They smoke cross, right? So we have no info on how many are going across. We have a guy being like, they smoke cross, I don't know where they are. So one play I made in a scrim was, when I see the smoke, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna stack cat, stack long, or stack B, right? They're trying to smoke to disguise where they're gonna be. So the calculated risk that I made was to solo push down mid through here and say, oh yeah, nobody's here, guys, nobody's here. And I started going through CT to flank them, and I saw that A side was clear. My teammate in Tons was doing the same thing as me, kind of. He had an SMG, he spots Tons here. Oh guys, there's three here, there's three here. So based off of that info that we gathered around the map, we just knew to knife out and go run to A site and win the round, right? Too many players aren't thinking like this, and they just mindlessly run out. You know, they died to 3 people or 4 people, and instead of calming that to their teammates, like, guys, there's 4 here, run to the other side, go, go, go. What they do is they just start being like, bro, like, why, man? Why did I die? That's so dumb. Give that information to your team, because that can be the most valuable thing you can do inside of the round. It really can. Dying for info is perfectly good. And the best time to die for info, guys, is when you are on T site in a 3v1, right? Say we're in a 3v1 on T site. We don't know where the other player is. We don't know where the last guy on the map is. Say I'm on 1 HP. I give the bomb to my teammates. I'm like, here you go, take bomb. And what do? I go run up and search for info. I have my gun out and I'm just running up cat here. Okay, guys, I don't see anything. He's not here. All right, come to site. Nobody was here. Come plant A. And then same thing. I might do the same thing a different game. Okay, guys, I'm running in. I'm dead. He's default. Run B, right? And these guys are kind of just chilling in mid, waiting. They're chilling around these areas. Oh, okay, he's on A. You know, either smoke mid to B or just go through Tons and win the round. These are the type of info plays that you should be making when you're 1 HP. But sadly, too many players, when they're on 1 health, you know, just want to fight. Say I'm fighting in middle. We already have the info, right? We have a 5v3 situation. I got legged by the upper top mid. And so now we know where one of the guys is. Maybe I spot another guy, or I hear another guy close lower, and I know that they're already here. So what is the point of me trying to risk another fight when we have a man advantage situation and dying? I could just give that exact same info that I knew before I had to die, right? So don't give your life away for info that's old. Never ever give your life away in those situations, because old info doesn't deserve to be died upon, right? Now the alternative is, the flip side to that is, like, you know, if our B player is like in a 2v2, he hears guys in tunnels and he hears one of them start running away, or hears them running away, and he starts making this info play through. This is fine. This information, even though, yeah, he didn't need to die to see if they're actually gone, this is good because he's actually closing the net in, right? And he can tell his other teammate, bro, I'm behind them, you know, I think they're running here. Okay, I hear them throwing a mid to B smoke, and, you know, shoot them from the side of the head. Because, you know, that's the difference. You know what I mean? Like, when we're in a man advantage situation, we don't care about that old info. When we're in like a 2v2 situation, that info can, you know, give us the opportunity to be extremely dynamic and get ahead of the situation by closing in the net and ensuring that we are, you know, right on them and we don't lose them. Because losing the other team can be a very bad thing to do, because then it allows them to relocate and position anywhere on the map, right? They could have been lower and knife out and run to long, and if you're not like listening to them closely or whatever, you don't know where they're going then. So then you might get bad info and be like, oh, okay, they were lower last scene, and your player's like, oh, okay, lower, I'm just gonna go up cat then, and then he dies eventually like 20 seconds later because he's unaware. and that's on him. But you know, you can help your teammates by making these proactive plays, and you know, making sure that, going back to the main point of the video, when you are dying, you're never dying and being like, okay, there was no reason to die there, right? And the mistake I see most players making for this exact scenario is when there is a crossfire setup, right? You know, say you have a guy sitting in car and you have a guy sight, and you're kind of mowing them down as they're running out. Like maybe you throw your lurk smoke down here and doing this, and then, you know, there's like a second or two delay or something, and this guy just decides to swing tunnels like this and dies to someone holding him. Well, now this guy's here like, dude, what did you die for? We had this insane crossfire and you just died peeking by yourself, and now you screw over your teammate and your teammate dies, and then, you know, he might be having a bad game and everyone wants to blame this guy for having a bad game, but he did the right job in this round. You screwed him over. And you might be like, well, I got info. I saw 4 were there. We knew that 4 were there, right? Like, we knew they were there, and that info is meaningless. So it's always the biggest thing for me is like, people think that they're dying for info, but they're not. They're just making a bad decision. And was this death good? No, this death was awful. I didn't gain anything new, didn't provide any value to my team, and I actually broke the crossfire that we had. So yeah, I think I rambled enough, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a comment down below saying yap session. I get a lot of hate. People say I yap, but that's just what I do around here. So appreciate every single one of you guys. If you want me to yap live to you and teach you how to play the game, I do offer live coaching services. If you don't want to do that, keep learning for free here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let's keep grinding. Let's keep growing. And I'm going to keep, you know, training and practicing for my Team USA event at the end of the year over in Saudi Arabia. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. I'll catch you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.